Today's episode of Fantasy Fiction is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/fantasyfiction. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, MP3 player, or Magic Stone. Today we're recommending Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. It's a book about elves, I think. So if you're enjoying the show, give the free trial a chance. It'll help us pay for the hosting, but I'm not sure what that is. I'm just a wizard. Enjoy the episode. Next scroll. Reese's, where are you?
In the land of fantasy, on the fields of fiction, there roll two knights across the plains. Two thieves of the night, two warriors of honor, in the shadow of the mountain cry their name. Fantasy fiction. Until the deed is done. Fantasy fiction. Until the quest is won. Fantasy fiction. The battle's in our minds. Fantasy fiction. Until the end of time.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Fantasy Fiction. My name is Dominic.
My name is Josh.
And we are in the same room for the first time since doing the show, episode 40.
It's pretty cool. First time ever, which is weird.
Because
there's 40 of them.
We've got 40 of these episodes. We're coming up on a year, actually.
Yeah, soon. September something.
Yeah.
September 11th.
I think that's the one. I think that's the day. I don't think that's the day. But we are here. And we are back. If you are listening on iTunes and you don't follow us on Facebook or Twitter, which you should,
do it.
We took a break because I moved cross-country. I'm now on the East Coast with Josh. I used to be in L.A., as some of you may know.
The Beast Coast.
Yeah.
That's what Mike Sadorf said one time.
Mike Sadorf's our friend. We do Syndication Station with him. Or do we? You can listen to 9 episodes of that show.
Nine fantastic episodes.
They're great. They are really great.
They are good.
But we will come back to that show eventually. I'm here now with Josh because we are kind of making a focus on just doing our own things full time. Josh has kind of been doing that for a while now. I was working at the Soup, but I said, fuck you to Joel McHale. I never met that guy. Do you know that?
You never met him?
I worked there for a year. I never met that guy.
That's ridiculous.
Gotta say, hey, in his defense, pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
I did pee next to him once.
That's like meeting. That's better than meeting him.
That's better than meeting him. We kind of locked eyes in the bathroom one time.
Did you
and
wink?
he clearly like was like, that guy works here. And I was like, that guy definitely works here.
He's the guy. Did you know that I peed next to Jimmy Carter one time?
Did you?
At Disney World.
Did his pee sound presidential?
It smelled like strawberries.
Interesting. It's interesting that you were both at Disney World.
Yeah.
And peeing next to Jimmy Carter.
He peed in the urinal next to me, and when it hit the little the cake in there, it went da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Flags came up. You started saluting.
Just a baton girl started twirling a baton.
A little parade came out of one of the stalls. I remember that day.
That happened.
But Josh, we've got stories.
We do.
We've got stories about treasure and Yetis.
Yeti
for the politically correct.
Yeti Americans. Bigfoot Americans.
Bigfoot. That is derogatory. Do not call them big feets. Sasquatch, their native name.
Yes, Sasquatch. Proud feets.
Proud foots. But before we get into that, Josh, what'd you do this month?
Oh my god.
It's been a month.
Holy shit. Well, we do a new show called 5x5. It's on a channel, youtube.com/arcade sushi. And we've been meeting a lot of cool people, and they've been on the show, like Weird Al Yankovic, I think is how you say his name.
Yep,
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but I've read that name before.
Ice-T Man was on the show.
I've actually seen both those episodes.
They're good.
They're both great.
So,
Ice-T might be the best one you've guys done.
Yeah, that one's my favorite. Not just because I edited it.
But 5x5 is a really weird show. It's a anti-list show for gaming, and it's kind of really out there and stupid and fun. So
it's crazy.
I like it a lot. I liked it on Facebook. That's how much I like it.
That's a commitment. You liked it on Facebook. So anyway. So even just going to New York, I've been in New York City like more times the past month than I have in my entire life.
And
Good city. I like New York City, except driving in it is fucking horrible.
yeah, you got real mad the other day.
Yeah, I was getting pissed.
You were about to Kano rip a heart out of a guy. Kano, is that guy's name from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were about to do that.
Yeah, Kano. Yeah. Sonya Blade.
You were about to Sonya Blade a guy.
I kissed him and then he exploded.
You did
into
that
a
to a
skeleton.
homeless man. I don't know why. I watched.
'Cause then New York doesn't care about
They
that.
don't give a fuck.
But they should.
But they should. They're people.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot is going on.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be a lot busier, which I'm excited for. I'm ready to do some other things, which we can't talk about on this podcast, because then everybody would know and it wouldn't be a surprise.
Because they're X-rated.
And that.
This is a family podcast.
This is, motherfuckers.
Tell you what I did.
What did you do?
I drove cross country.
That's much shittier driving than New York City.
I killed a lot of bugs.
Oh my god.
I drove some 14-hour days.
That's crazy.
And it kind of sucked for some parts, but it was a good time. Corey and I, we drove across country. We stopped at Mount Rushmore, which was nice.
Is that the first place you stopped?
Yeah, well, the first landmark, I guess. That was the first.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't drive from
attraction.
California all the way to
Mount
South
Rushmore,
Dakota.
just like eyes wide on like
Doing mollies.
stay awake pills.
Scissor. I don't know. What do the kids do now?
That actually makes you go to sleep, I think.
Scissor does?
Yeah, it's got melatonin in it.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Podcast over. Thanks for
See ya,
showing up.
bye-bye.
Racist sticker.
But we also stopped at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. That was you're drinking a beer. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. It's a celebration.
It is a celebration.
This is exciting.
I got to see Reggie White's bust.
What was he, like a double D, triple D?
It's Triple D.
Triple D's not even.
It's not?
No. It goes double D to E.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Or maybe it goes straight to F if you
I
know
wouldn't
what I mean.
know. I'm not a pervert.
I'm not either. I'm just a professional booby looker. That's is that Paul Ritchie joke that I steal that from Paul Ritchie?
Booby looker?
Yeah.
No, Booby looker's my story.
That's your... Okay.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I used to work at this comic shop, and we used to have this kid come in, and he would always buy comics, so we let him do whatever he wants, but he would go around, pick up some comics, pick up like an action figure or two he wanted to look at, and then he'd grab one or two of the Booby books, Tarot maybe, for those familiar with that series, and he'd go into the back of the store, and he would just look.
You'd put him back then?
Yeah, and then he would put him back, and then he would buy some stuff. He usually spent about $40. We called him Booby Looker because we knew he was looking at the boobies back there.
He's not very subtle.
No.
Let me just take these booby comics to the bathroom.
Well, he wouldn't go to the bathroom. He would just chill near the old back issues where people weren't walking, and he would just enjoy some boobies. He wasn't touching himself or anything. It was okay.
Oh.
I hope he's graduated to a booby toucher now, at least.
Yeah. I hope he's got permission.
Well, yeah. I mean, I really hope he's got permission. Otherwise, that's a crime.
You go to jail. That's a serious crime.
Then he's a booby criminal.
They don't fuck with that shit anymore, dude. This isn't like the 50s where you touch a boob and they're like, ah. Now you go to prison.
Oh, men.
Oh, God.
That's what they used to say. Oh, you, man.
No, you're just a sexual predator. You'll be fine.
And with that, let's get into some tales and fantasy
and fiction.
Do-do-do-boo.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving tits.
Dom.
Yes. What? I was sleeping.
Wake up.
Yeah, okay.
I'm totally awake.
I'm not sleeping. Yeah, out of that side of the mouth, I snore. And out of the other side, I just talk in this voice. It's not mine.
I believe you. Are you ready?
Yes.
For this week's story.
Yes, of treasures and Yetis.
Of treasures and Yetis. my story this week is called Abacus and the Hendersons. Doesn't make any sense.
Is this a Harry and the... Okay, you go on.
It's not.
I'm not gonna...
It's not really.
Okay.
All right. I think we can all agree that the greatest evil in all of Theranos is apathy, and that somebody should really do something about it, but whatever, who cares? What are you gonna do? But we can also agree that the second greatest evil in Theranos is the Great Tower.
Oh my god.
It just jumps.
Yeah, here we are. Cut
to the story.
Spooky Tower.
Legend has it that nobody knows exactly how the evil tower was built, who built it, or even if built is the correct verb or adverb. I don't know if that's the thing. Writing.
We're just gonna I don't have time.
Someone's gonna
Do you
tell
have
me.
time to
No.
look this over? I don't.
Gerund. I mean, was it conjured into existence? Did an evil stonemason cut the stones off of an evil stone golem that he kept in his basement to harvest his stone organs? Was the tower just part of the earth? Like the tower was the earth's dick, and the earth was like the body, and the tower was also erect because it was the earth's dick?
What is this earth you speak of? What is this witchcraft?
Earth as in ground.
Oh, okay.
The general earth. The royal earth.
The mother
Yes.
sense.
Yes. I don't know, but I'm going to irresponsibly say that all of those were true because an old wizard told my uncle who knew him on a camping trip, and that guy was at Wizstock.
What is wait, I think I could figure out what Wizstock is now that you mention it.
It took place in 69. Mm-hmm. And it was a celebration of peaceful wizard Vietnam War ending.
Boring. Sounds like a bunch of hippie bullshit if you ask me.
It was.
Hippie wizard bullshit.
Get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Wizards were born to kill.
Can't hug your kids with nuclear wizard arms.
No, you can.
You can.
Actually.
Atop of this tower sat a great presence in the form of whatever the shit he wanted to be. Back off. He doesn't know you shit.
I like this guy.
Some say they've seen him in the form of a great eye, but that's just stupid. How is that even scary? Like a story would ever be written about something as stupid as that. Others claim to have seen the presence transform into a giant middle finger and growl the phrase, "Snitches get stitches," and a long, ancient, lost tongue, which would make some pee come out of your wiener or girl wiener if heard by any mortal. Others say that on movie night, the presence projected himself as the first 2 Star Trek reboot films.
No!
The most evil films ever produced.
I like that they show some movie every couple nights.
A movie night.
Nice. Hey, not such a bad guy.
If you're a big tower, you got perfect vantage, you show whatever.
And to be honest,
Yeah.
they're pretty evil, but maybe a little watchable.
Maybe a little.
Parts are watchable.
No, that's not true. That's 100% not true. All anyone knew that this menace had to be destroyed. All I know is this menace has to be destroyed, said Abacus Greytooth, an orc elder mage with an average-sized penis, but it's okay. He made up for it with his charming personality and perfunctory wit.
It's something you could get past.
Yeah, if you get to know him.
I like how average penis is just not good enough.
No, it's not.
Because I guess the guys who are well endowed.
Is it normal? Is it good enough in real life?
You know what? That's not a question for us that we can
That's
answer.
true.
I guess we kind of can answer.
Yeah, big dicks.
Yeah, just the biggest hangers. Danglers.
Dangers. They call that dangers. Growled his best friend in the whole world named Chubby, a feral Yeti who lost his family in a tragic and extremely sad forest fire. Some call him the Batman of Yetis, or at least that's what he put on his resume. You said it, Chubby, my best friend in the whole world whose family died in a tragic and extremely sad forest fire. We have to go on an adventure that may change our lives forever, but ultimately is a small price to pay for saving the world from this evil presence thing or evil ancient wizard or whatever. My grandkids don't visit me.
Oh, this is an old man.
He's old, man.
Oh, okay.
Soon the two were off on their adventure, but before they could go, Abacus had to change his talking stone voicemail message. I can't answer the stone right now because I'm off on what may be my last and greatest adventure. Please leave a short message after the shrieking witch howl. Melissa and Jeremy, Peepaw loves you. Visit soon. Beep! Melissa and Jeremy never visit.
Or called, for that matter.
Yeah, which would have been good enough.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
Jesus.
It's bullshit.
Say I love you to your grandparents. If you love them.
Only then. Don't lie to them.
Don't lie to them.
It's worse to lie
Saying
to them.
I love you to your grandparents when you don't love them is like saying I hate you
Right.
to your dog.
This is crazy.
This is gold.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're not missing a step. After a grueling 35 minutes, Abacus and Chubby reached a mountain range. Scattered all over the mountain's various passes were what appeared to be pilgrims on a journey themselves. As Abacus and Chubby approached, they could see that most of them were high on some kind of psychedelic reagent. Peace and love, my orc brother, said a young woman who was totally topless and who had the Led Zeppelin angel tattooed on her chest along with some random stars and some cartoonish-looking birds. So you know this girl was down to SMD.
Damn.
You know chicks who got that tattoo, they know what they're doing.
You know they're down to hang. So are guys.
Yeah.
If you see a guy with that tattoo, he's down to suck a dick.
Yeah, that's fine. She placed a wreath of flowers around Abacus and Chubby's necks, which were just a string of wizard weed leaves. Legalize it, Orc Bomb. Abacus turned to see an elf male do what appeared to be a cultish mating dance for the lady, which consisted of accidentally kicking his hacky sack toward her so he could have a reason to talk to her. The farther they journeyed up the mountain, the more cultists they ran into. Excuse me, young man, Abacus said to a young man covered in some kind of glowing paint. Where are you headed? We're headed to the tower, man, replied the kid, whose mom probably hugged him too much.
It's a real thing. Don't do it.
Stop hugging your kids.
Don't love your kids too much. It's turned out to be real weirdos.
Stupid. Gotta deal with them at the Starbucks.
Josh and I were hugged too much. We know what it's like. I have to go call my mom.
Chubby, my best friend whose family died in a tragic and extremely sad forest fire. I think we are headed in the right direction. We should follow this cult, and they should lead us to the tower. Try to fit in, Abacus said as Chubby got his hair braided into dreadlocks by a harem of hot, Yeti, filthy, comely maidens wearing vegan clothes.
Vegan clothes?
And began smoking cloves out of his pipe. As night approached, the cult began to get really buck wild. In the distance, Abacus and Chubby could see the tower. Cultists were passing around all kinds of pipes. Wizard weed pipes, hash pipes, that muffler from a 69 Bone General Lee from a few weeks ago.
Quite a few weeks ago.
Quite like 3 months ago. One kid made a pipe out of a bapple and immediately turned himself into a chair.
Damn.
As the bapple pipe just sat on the seat for a few minutes until finally some drunk maiden came over and said, "Quit bug-on the dub-dub, man," and she took a hit, also turning herself into a chair immediately. This went on for hours. There were no survivors.
But there was plenty of comfort. Plenty of places to sit.
It's like an art project. Just a field full of chairs.
Is this an art installation? Get the hell out of here, you wizard hippies.
Kicks chairs over.
Kicks them over, burns them, pees on them.
That's my son. I hugged him too much.
This is what he gets.
I told him not to join any cults. These kids don't know how to party, Abacus said condescendingly. I was at Wizstock. Just as Abacus and Chubby approached the tower, everything went dark, and a booming mechanical voice started saying some shit. Kind of like that Peter Frampton voice from Frampton Comes Alive. Ladies and gentle beings, do you feel like I do? Boomed the voice. The crowd cheered wildly, and one dude started helicoptering his dick so fast his pubes lit on fire.
What is up with guys in Darados helicoptering their dick?
It's like a thumbs
in
up.
celebration.
It's just like the OK symbol, just the
That's
circle.
a lot
you make.
easier. That's a lot easier than helicoptering.
A whole lot less fun, too.
True. That's very true.
You ever just let that thing fly?
It's a little safer.
It is. You can slap yourself in the nuts doing that.
By the way, people ride by Josh's house in bone cycles.
They do. This
the
is what I deal
time.
with all day. It's ridiculous. Suddenly, at the top of a tower, a great pillar of smoke started to bellow forth as the tower began to transform into a giant, tower-sized wizard weed piece. From the smoke arose an ancient wizard. The crowd again grew silent as the wizard raised his bony, decrepit old person's hand. Like when you can see all the veins and bones in there and shit.
Yeah, no thanks.
Welcome, my children. I had to do another old wizard voice.
You have to do it
older. Welcome, my children. He said as his voice echoing throughout the land. Are ye ready to drop down and get your eagle on? As the wizard finished, he dropped the talking stone and Sandstorm started playing as all kinds of crazy magic lights started going off. The mountain itself became covered in weed mist as every motherfucker was getting high as fuck. Abacus and Chubby just looked at each other perplexed by what the shit was going on. Suddenly, the crowd lifted up Chubby and started carrying him away, chanting, Yeti spaghetti for some reason. I didn't even remember writing that.
It just makes sense, honestly.
Man, sometimes I surprise even myself. Chubby growled and reached his hand out for Abacus. Chubby yelled, I will, my friend. I'll never forget you. Abacus yelled back as the crowd pushed him in the other direction.
He just accepted that he was going to die.
Chubby yelled again. I promise never to play with your cool toys, Abacus yelled. Chubby yelled yet again. Yeah, okay, I said I promise. Jesus, get off my fucking schnuts, man. Abacus decided he had to do something. These people were being sucked into this evil cult wizard's cultish evil. Writing. Abacus tried to make his way to the tower entrance, but was blocked by a Menage 37. But suddenly, someone picked up a babble pipe and turned into a chair, giving him an opening. Abacus turned into a lightning bolt and shot toward the wooden door leading up to the top of the tower. But just as he was about to enter, a Skeleman bouncer stopped him.
Oh, man.
Are you on the list? The bouncer asked. Abacus sighed and cast a spell with his staff, giving the Skeleman his flesh back. The Skeleman was astounded. You gave my life back. How can I ever repay you? He said, when suddenly Abacus cast another spell, and the newly formed flesh of the Skeleman's face and body started to melt off horribly as flames shot out of his eyes and his nose and stuff. Oh my God, why? Screamed the Skeleman, probably in astonishing pain, which he hadn't felt for like 200 years or something. I don't know, I'm not his doctor.
In the land of Darados, you can exist as a skeleton in the afterlife, only to be brought back to life just to be paid.
Just to be killed.
Just to be killed.
Again, just to be re-killed.
Dude, that's shit is buck wild.
It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Who's on the list now, you shitty piece of shit? Abacus said all cool, like from a cool movie. As Abacus reached the top of the... I'm sorry.
That was a cool thing to say of him. You would see that shit in a movie.
Oh my God. All right. Shut up.
What is that whistle sound happening outside?
Whistle tips go.
People whistling at the hot dog place?
Yeah, man.
It's a hot dog. People sell hot dogs. They just sell hot dogs across the street.
Yeah, the sexy hot dogs, apparently.
Go on.
As Abacus reached the top of the tower, the party was in full-blown frothy jizzy swing. Stop right there, evil wizard, Abacus said. Evil wizard? The old wizard questioned.
The older wizard. Clearly. You could tell.
He's not saying the cool things.
Yeah, this
Like
this
from
guy
a cool
sucks.
movie. You know, he's different. He's a different guy. Yes, you and your wizard cult will suffer this day, Abacus said, pointing his staff at the evil wizard. No, my son, you got it all wrong. I'm just a DJ wizard. But I can see how you could confuse the two, he said as he lit a joint off the end of Abacus's staff. Look, I bring joy to all of these people, and if you can't hang man, well then, that's just your prerogative, said the old wizard.
This dude is chill.
Yeah, he is kind of chill. With that, Abacus looked out at the crowd and saw Chubby running free with a group of Yetis. As he looked back, he saw Abacus and gave him a thumbs up. Maybe you're right, relented Abacus. Maybe the real treasure lies within our hearts and is in the journeys we have along the way. Yes, that's it. Now you're getting it, said the old wizard. Very different voice.
In bold.
Totally different.
Totally different guys.
Thanks, old wizard. You've restored my faith in all wizard kind, Abacus said. As he went to walk back down the tower, the old wizard stopped him. Hey, Abacus, catch, he said as he tossed him his wizard's robe.
It's just butt ass naked up there.
Yeah, apparently.
Veins and all.
It's fucking disgusting. This wizard sucks. Oh, and by the way, I lied.
Oh my god.
As he said the words, the world around Abacus went gray. No! Abacus screamed into the colorless void. Then everything went black. Then...
My god.
twist.
That's a twist ending.
Yeah.
Thought he was bad, turned out to be a chill dude.
Not
Just
really.
an evil thing. Just another evil thing you can add on to the list of evil shit this old man has done.
Old wizard.
That was a great tale, Josh.
Thank you.
Truly a great tale.
It was a fun one. I had fun with this one.
Yeah, man. That was it was a nice team up. I saw maybe a little Han and Chewie.
Yeah,
in there.
little, I don't know where you got that from. I totally invented the name, and it didn't steal. I didn't steal it from anything.
It's 100. You can't sue. It's not. If you can't
Disney.
sue, then I didn't steal.
Disney and I work for the same company technically, so you can't sue.
You can't sue.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. All right, Josh, are you ready for my tale of Yetis and treasure?
I be ready.
Oh, that's just the old. That's just
No,
The old.
I'm ready.
I didn't hear that one.
Oh, redo it. Let's redo my story. Can I ADR my story?
7 hours later. My tale is called Hot Pastrami.
I'm going to guess that pastrami is a character. Well, let's read on.
I like
Read the
the way you think, Josh. It was a cold, dark evening in the land of Orkspire, and atop the Wizard mountain range, shit was no different.
Is that the name of the mountain? Wizard mountain range?
Yeah, it's canon. That's the canon thing. I've said that before.
We're back.
Well, okay, it was probably colder and a little stormier and a lot more jagged, but yeah, things were still cold and dark. Unless you brought a torch with you. Then they were just cold.
Is it a British torch or an American torch?
What is the difference?
British torch is a flashlight.
American. It's American torch.
All right, good.
Think they got flashlights in this land?
How do you envision your land as relative to mine on a map
It's to the east.
of mine?
Yeah.
Mine's to the west of yours.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
Sorry, go
We're
ahead.
friends. One wizard stood atop the highest peak in the Wizard mountain range and began to summon something big. Snow and wind whipped through his beard as he squinted his eyes and remained focused on his magic. Suddenly, out of the storm clouds reached a long, thin hand made of lightning. Whoa. The wizard shook the hand, and with that, he was electrocuted and died. No one was sure what that was about. In a dark cave on the side of one of the mountains roared the awakening sounds of a creature seldom concerned with the dealings of wizards and magic outside of his home. It scratched itself, then made its way to the entrance of the cave, each step shaking the mountain, causing avalanche after avalanche, killing many people in the small town of Death by Avalanche.
Well, they named it right.
It was not a good place to live.
What are the schools like in Death by Avalanche?
Oh, they meet every 3 days. Unless there's an avalanche.
Nobody's graduated
Then
from
school is canceled. It is a diminishing town.
It's like Japan. Their population's going down.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have enough babies. They just not having babies.
Real talk. Getting real on the fantasy show.
The real fantasy world of Japan.
Actually, we've said it before. Japan is the real-life fantasy.
Yes, yep.
From the mouth of the cave appeared a 7-foot-tall Yeti with thick, unwashed, matted hair of gray and white with horns protruding out of his head.
Ew.
God damn it, roared the Yeti. I gotta work in this shit. Fucking dicks. The Yeti turned back into the cave and shouted, hot pastrami on a toasted roll. With that, ice goblins crawled out from behind rocks and stalag ice.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Stalag ice.
That was, I would have fucked that up if I had to say it.
Yeah.
That's good.
All over the cave and got out to work. Ice goblins are much smaller than regular goblins, with thin bodies and limbs covered in freezer burn and glowing red eyes.
Oh my god.
They climbed on top of each other and started to open the fridge and began to gather the ingredients like a Pixar cartoon or something. It was all very lovable, but we don't have time for that. Also, they were making wretched noises because they are slaves. So, just like a Pixar cartoon.
Like that lamp, like he gets like put in a closet at night.
They're slaves.
Yeah, he doesn't go home. He has no home.
No home.
That's what his job is, to be that lamp.
To be the eye. The Yeti had made his way back to his post inside the cave, a large frost-covered black chest that had not been opened for many centuries.
Does he just guard this chest forever?
Yeah, that's his post. Sorry,
Okay.
it's kind of worded weird.
That's cool.
It was the Yeti's job to sit atop the chest and make sure no one opened it, for reasons even the Yeti could not remember.
Damn.
He just knew that it was his job to guard it because it had always been his job to guard it. Kind of like yo mama on my dick.
Whoa! That's canon.
Just kidding, guys. I don't no disrespect to your mom.
No, I'm not.
That's the narrator speaking. That's not me. I
Yeah.
am separate.
Except I'm still not kidding.
Except moving on. As the Yeti awaited his toasted sandwich, he opened up an issue of Yeti magazine. He thumbed through the pages with 72-point font articles all about how you need to back the fuck up out of this Yeti's cave right the fuck now, and how to get the most out of your ice goblins. How, you ask? By shouting at them. Yes, Orkspire can be a mean world, but perhaps your world is not too different. Keep listening to the story. Buy a t-shirt. Leave an iTunes review.
They're the ice goblins.
That is the narrator speaking. Once again, that is not us. As the ice goblins comically launched the Yeti's pastrami sandwich into the toaster oven, the sounds of spells shooting all over could be heard outside the cave. Mother shit, dick, cursed the Yeti as he threw his Yeti magazine on the ground and headed outside to see what was going on. By the way, the magazine totally landed on a centerfold of a dank-ass nug. That's right, Yeti magazine is just high times. Dun dun dun.
Oh my god.
Not too different. The Yeti leaned against the mouth of the cave as he peered through the snowstorm for who was making all of the commotion. Suddenly, he noticed an elf cloaked in a large purple robe. "What the shit do you want?" asked the Yeti, annoyed. "Behold!" shouted the sorcerer. Then the elf did 7 360 spins, followed by 3 backflips and a corkscrew. Then he manualed into a dark slide grind and hit a half pipe and busted out 17 big twists before floating down to the mouth of the cave as stardust fell all around him. "It's your boy, Dancler," announced the sorcerer as he landed.
Dancler.
After watching this display of true agility and grace, a nearby songbug held up a small sign with a 9.5 written on it, then sang, "That was one of the most beautiful things I ever did see, but I've seen one more thing that was even better. It was me on the ice skating rink getting nasty with my King Kong donger. I was skating in the 36 Orc Olympics." And I landed a crazy backflip. And then I skated backwards and put my hands on my hips and ripped off my nasty jeans. Yeah. And then everyone in the whole motherfucking place had their eyes feasting on my donger. My 10-pound badass cigarette smoking, class cutting, stink line having, sonic booming me propeller. And so the cool breeze on my donger while I was school skating backwards got me all excited. And then I popped a boner and fucking balanced on the tip of my dick. Yeah. And then I just fucking started spinning on it for like 23 minutes. I was harder than a goddamn now and later candy that was left in the freezer. It was so goddamn majestic, a frick frack fair stick, a fing fong phoner, a bing bong boner, a ting tong tonger, a ching chang chonger, a bebop a rock steady, yeah.
Ching chang chonger.
Did that get vaguely racist at the end? Asked the sorcerer.
Oh my god. I can't breathe. Oh my god. Holy shit.
"Why do you disturb the Yeti's early lunch break?" shouted the unbathed beast.
My favorite part is when it comes back.
We're just moving on.
It just gently puts you back in like a nice warm bath.
"I want some of that sweet, sweet treasure," sang the elf as he shot spells as he popped and locked. Having no time for songs, the Yeti spinning backhanded the elf, knocking him unconscious and sending him backflipping into the storm as he made this noise. Woo! The Yeti went to turn back into the cave once more when there was a knock on his cave wall. Spinning around quickly, the Yeti yelled, "What do you want?" Before him barely stood a filthy dwarf covered in old taint rags. "Hey, look, man," began the dwarf. "I heard you got some treasure up in here, and I don't want to be that guy, but I need some gold bad." "What the shit do you think this is?" replied the Yeti. "Does it say motherfucking Yeti Bank above my cave? Because I was under the impression that if you come to Yeti's cave, you want to die." "Yeah, I've kind of fallen on hard times. I lost my job down at the minimum wage mines."
The minimum wage one. Less terrible than the pain one.
Slightly.
Still bad.
Still painful. "And the gold bank foreclosed on my house made of mud and hay. But, you know, it's all a matter of perspective, I guess. On the edge of financial ruin or jizz rich. Because, you know, I got a lot of time for that now. You know, I'm just Jaying the FO 24/7 now that I'm unemployed."
This is remarkably accurate to how my life is.
"Look, dude, you can't have any gold and you're sharing far too much information," answered the Yeti. "You know, come to think of it, with all those fluids flying around, maybe I could get into like alchemy or something, you know? I think my uncle does that, but he doesn't work with jizz. Or at least, not that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
He mainly works with pee and poo-poo and pee-pee, poo-poo butt." The Yeti let out an annoyed sigh and said, I wish I could care that you've fallen on bad times, but you are just so goddamn annoying that I kind of hope more bad things happen to you. You know who I wish would get into porn again? Replied the dwarf. Get the shit out of my cave home, demanded the Yeti, and he kicked the dwarf so hard he turned into dust and blew away.
Who was it? Who did he wish?
Well, you never know. He turned into dust.
I hope that's in the treasure chest.
Seriously, no one cared. The timer dinged on the toaster oven. The sandwich was ready. The Yeti walked toward his lunch again as a voice outside echoed, Yeti! I have a pastrami sandwich to eat, shouted the Yeti as he came to the cave's entrance once more. But before him was no fancy elf or really gross dwarf. This time, there floated a skeleton lightning mancer, cloaked in a dark red robe. The Yeti was shocked, as he was not expecting a foe of this power. He's usually just bothered by some hapless adventurers seeking their fortune. In that moment, the Skele-Wizard laughed as he sent the Yeti to his knees with a powerful lightning bolt.
Oh my god.
The wizard floated above the Yeti and into the cave, where he tried to open the chest, but it wouldn't budge, so he made a key out of lightning, stuck it into the chest's keyhole, and unlocked it. Still got it, echoed the skeleton. The chest lid fell back and the room was filled with a golden light. The Skele-Wizard looked into the chest and pulled out the treasure that had led so many adventurers to their end, a human heart. The lightning mancer squeezed it in his hands. No, shouted the Yeti as he leaped toward the Skele-Wizard, but it was too late. The wizard tightened his grip, sending lightning pulsating through it. The heart burst immediately, dropping the Yeti short of his target. Blood trickled out of the Yeti's mouth as his body began to wither and thin. Within moments, the Yeti had transformed into a young man. Naked, of course. This is your end, Prince Galax. What? Hissed the Skele-Wizard as he flew out of the cave laughing maniacally. Oh, right. Inside the chest was my heart, because I used to be a mean prince, and I was cursed by a witch for being so mean, so I was waiting for my one true love to come and claim the treasure to turn me back into a prince. Some like Beauty and the Beast shit, whispered the prince as blood trickled out of his mouth. The prince blinked his eyes as he struggled to say, being a Yeti was kind of dope, though. And with that, his eyes rolled into the back of his head, and he died. And he never got to eat his hot pastrami sandwich. No! The end.
That was one of my favorite stories you ever wrote. That was great. Because I love the premise the whole time is that he's waiting for this sandwich. But the end was crazy.
It got real.
I did not see that coming.
Especially after that dwarf came by talking about fucking jizz.
Yeah.
You're shocked.
And I like that with his last dying breath, Prince Galax tells us the real story.
And that being a Yeti was kind of dope.
Because fuck it. It probably would be.
YOLO. Hey, did you notice that both
Yeti only live once.
Yeti only live once. You've realized both of our stories had sad endings.
They did. Not happy endings.
Like this show. Dun, dun, dun. Goodbye forever. Oh, God, we're turning inside out.
The blood's coming out of my mouth and my butthole, probably.
Ew, gross. I think I see it.
It smells bad.
Oh, let's go.
It would.
Let's go into the music. All right, well, Josh, we're back. A Dinosaur's Tale. You ever see that movie?
I did the episode of Continue. I edited.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that's right. You guys played that game.
That was one of the first episodes of Continue I edited ever. That game is stupid.
Yeah, that game sucks. Oh, that movie's kind of dumb. It's like one of those non-Disney movies that you watch when you're a kid, and you're like, and you realize how good Disney movies are because you're like, wow, this sucks. When's the last time you tried to watch Rockadoodle?
Never. I don't know what's Rockadoodle.
It's one of those Don Bluth cartoons about like this Elvis kind of like chicken who brings up the sun. When
Oh
he
yeah,
sings.
okay.
I
know
it's real weird. All Don Bluth cartoons are kind of really weird outside of Dragon Age and Space Ace. Anyway, thanks for listening to another episode, everyone, and thanks for tuning in after such a long break. We're sorry we were away for so long, but
it was only like 3 2-9er weeks. Niner.
But yeah, this is we're kind of trying to do this more often in terms of not missing episodes, but also we have a couple ideas for videos we want to do, and hopefully you'll see those soon as soon as we have the time.
Yeah, I'm really excited that you're home, Dom. Thank you for coming home. Thanks for stopping by in Pennsylvania.
Hey, thank you for tuning in to Dom while he was away for 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel like 3 years. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
For you, it might.
Like baseball, Josh. A lot has changed and nothing has changed.
That's true.
If you guys want to support the show, an easy way to do so is by leaving an iTunes review. And Josh, I believe you have one you want to read right here.
It is titled "Amazing in Every Way," 5 stars by Evil Garden Gnomes. It says, "I love the worlds that Josh and Dom created. I enjoy every character they create. Buffcat, Sid, Biff, Throm, etc. Biff reminds me of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast."
Hey.
Yeah.
We talked about that this episode.
Yeah.
Pretty funny how the world
Weird.
works. I like this one titled "Amazing" by Nick_NCSU. Best fantasy-themed comedy podcast that I know of. Also, the only one. Hey, 5 stars, though.
Dude, being best by default is the best being the best.
Leaving an iTunes review is a great way to support the show. That helps us get featured, helps us open up to a wider audience, or so we've been told. You can also support the show by buying a t-shirt by going to fantasyfiction.bigcartel.com. We're kind of sold out of everything at the moment, almost. We have a few sizes left, but we are going to get brand new shirts, new designs, restocks of everything in about 2 weeks. When those do come back in, we'll make an announcement on the Twitter and Facebook, hopefully make a video as well. Yeah. But you should be following those things on Twitter and Facebook if you aren't, because that's where we ask questions for Reese's and Snickerdoodle, and that's where we get our prompts from.
We post funny photos.
Honestly, the past month since we haven't had a show, we've been posting some... we've been making each other laugh, at least.
I think that's the... I mean... I treat Twitter and Facebook just like I do the podcast. I just want to make you laugh.
Yeah. And you were doing a good job of it with your 4th of July post. Ben Franklin and a pimp ad or something. Yeah. It's canon.
Pimp wizard. Pimp Franklin wizard.
But if you want to follow the Twitter, it's at FantasyFicPod. The Facebook, I believe, the URL is just facebook.com/fantasyfic. The YouTube is youtube.com/fantasyfic. We've got prompts for this week. We've got princesses submitted by Eric Bowman and sieges, which has been requested a lot.
Yeah.
I searched the most recent post and I could only find this one person who submitted it, so I'll say their name, Evan Carlson. But thank you to everyone who has told us to do that. We're doing this for all of you.
Yep.
Not
Sieges.
just Evan. Evan, don't think this is just for you. It's for everyone.
You're a figurehead, Evan.
Don't hog the sieges, Evan.
You're like the Queen of England. We could do without you.
I couldn't, actually.
I was mean. I couldn't either.
Yeah, you mean.
Thank you, Evan.
But honestly, thank you guys so much for listening to the show. And finally, one small way that you can help out the show is just by sharing it with friends, or if you're listening to YouTube, leave a comment, like it, favorite, do whatever you want. Yeah. That helps us tremendously. That's actually how we've got a lot of our audiences through the YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube helps. I mean, check it out on whatever you want to check it out on, but sharing it with your friends really is, it helps. I like when people say that, like, they're driving in a car and their friend, like, what is this? And then their friend gets into it.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the great things to hear from fans.
Yeah.
But we love hearing from you guys, period. We try to respond to everything that you guys tweet or message us on Facebook or email us. So feel free to continue contacting us, and we'll try to get back to you.
Yeah.
We will try real hard, honestly.
Real hard. Real boner hard.
Harder than an hour later in the freezer?
Ching chong changer.
Hey, whoa. Hey, I did not say that.
That's the narrator talking. That's the narrator.
That was that bug. I would never speak like that. I've been watching a lot of Saturday Night Main Event, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Hell yeah, dude. Jesse the Body Ventura, he's my favorite guy. I'm a big fan of Jerks, and he's
hilarious.
He's hilarious.
He's fucking funny, man.
But with that, Josh, until next week.
This is the first time I've ever done this in front of you.
Do you do it? Oh, you're getting naked.
My dick is out. It's been out for the first.
You just get erect as possible. Ah!
Come on.
Ew.
See, this is what it's like being right next to me during this show. What do you think of it? You want to come back?
No. This is the last episode.
Keep on wizarding!
Keep on wizarding. Yow!
That was a good metal scream.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.